Gen C podcast. Welcome to the Gen C podcast. I'm your host, JP Jackson, and today we have Ryelan Hardnick. Welcome, Ryelan.
Thank you, JP. It's good to be here.
Good to be in the building.
It's an honor to join you.
Again, the honor is ours.
I...
So for those that do not know, who is Ryelan?
So Ryelan, from the Eastern Cape, Queenstown, or as it's now known, Komani. Went to school there. Raised by two teachers. My parents are both teachers.
Education was
they're
important.
still going on. Finished my schooling there and then decided to make the move to the Western Cape. Studied at Stellenbosch University. Studied accounting, and then that led me to meeting you, JP. Our paths crossed in our workplace.
Not to say that everyone must now do accounting.
No, just to meet you.
Not at all.
But and then with PwC, and now I'm a tax consultant, and enjoying it.
Lovely. So, what was it like going to Queenstown Boys? Because it's quite a prestigious school in South Africa.
Yeah.
So, what was that like?
I guess when you're younger, you don't quite realize what you've got sometimes. And being at Queen's College, I really enjoyed it. It's an all-boys school, which to a lot of people I've met, that's like, only boys? I'm like, that's what I had for 12
distracting
years.
you.
For 12 years, that's what I had. And the memories I made, and inside the classroom, outside. I think back to sports tours and just the weekends away for sport, and even now bumping into a fellow Queenian, you'd still catch up, and you might have not been great friends back then, but just that still holds you together.
There's a bond there.
It's always there. And our old boys union is so strong across the country. We've got a Cape Town branch, for example, where you can meet up with them about once a month. And I look forward to next year going back, because then I'm 10 years out of school. And that's quite a big thing to then go back and, meet up with the guys from 10 years ago. Some guys
all
haven't
don't
seen.
look the same.
Oh, we'll see. Hopefully I still do. But so, it was for me really a great experience. And that really gave me the push to go further after school, and that foundation that I got from the school, academically, sporting, it offers everything. Yeah.
So you were quite a good cricketer, and you always play this down, but you were quite a good cricketer in high school, and you had a very illustrious both academic and sporting career, which is very rare these days. But then you moved to Stellenbosch. On the one hand, you wanted to be a CA. On the other hand, you also wanted to pursue a cricket career.
Definitely.
So let's first chat about what was it like going from a small town like Queenstown to Stellenbosch, the Rooiwyn city of South Africa.
It's quite daunting at first, and especially me coming there, not knowing many people there. From a smaller town, and now you're in Stellenbosch, big bad Stellenbosch. I guess it's got this reputation, but for me, I think I just knew who I was and where I came from. I didn't change the person that I was, and I think that tends to happen quite a lot when you're moving to that sort of situation. You kind of forget a bit about like who you are and where you come from and what you're actually there for. And I think for me, I even being 18 or 19, I kind of knew what I wanted out of my 4 years there in Stellenbosch, and I think that really helped me to focus on what I needed to. Not forgetting that I can still have a good time and all of that, and balance things out. But
it's part of it.
It's part of it. You can't just study 24/7. But at the end of the day, I knew what my main priority was. And that was, to get my degree.
And we're not saying that everyone must go and you must go and study. But obviously, when you went to go and study accounting, was it something that you wanted to do? Or was it something that was, because both your parents are teachers? So where did that come about?
No, it was definitely something I wanted to do. They never forced me in a certain direction, ever. So I think it just came about at high school. towards the end of, I'd say, grade 11,
Mm.
I kind of thought, well, I enjoy the subject.
Yeah.
Not that it's a complete reflection of what you're
So
going to
you
get.
enjoy accounting.
I enjoy accounting. I enjoyed it, and I thought, well, started doing a bit of research.
Yes.
What does a CA actually do? And I think a lot of people would still ask today, but what does a CA do?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not a straightforward answer.
Yeah.
And I think that just encouraged me further to, okay, I'm gonna apply for that and have a go. And here we are today.
And playing cricket throughout that time. So throughout undergrad, you were playing.
Yeah.
Cricket
Throughout undergrad, I played cricket for Marties, and in my honors year, it got a bit tricky. Because...
So do you mind elaborating on that? Because that's essentially the point where you decided that I'm leaving sport to do this.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about what went into making that decision.
I think it was kind of forced on me by the academics, because just the nature of the degree was you write every second to third week and it's large volumes of work. And for me, I didn't want to still play cricket and be half committed where I'm playing now and then I'll see you in 3 weeks time or whatever. I wanted to, be committed to it. And then I knew, I mean, this is now my final year of studies. So I really need to give it a good push here. And I can always play cricket again, although I haven't really gone back to it. Free time on the weekends is good. But I don't regret making the decision to kind of give it up for a bit. And I gave it a go in undergrad. And I tried to play as much as I could while still balancing the studies. So no regrets on my side and happy with the decision.
Yeah, because I mean, that's how essentially our paths crossed eventually.
Exactly.
Because I wasn't going to play cricket.
I had to get that degree and do my articles, JP.
So do you mind just tapping into what role your parents played in your life? Because as both being teachers, obviously, fundamentally, education is important to them.
Yeah.
What kind of impact did that have on you and your sister as well, if you can?
Yeah, no, I think they've had the biggest impact out of anyone on my life. Just the example they set at home, how committed they were to anything they take on, whether it's at school, in the church, or in the community. That just sets an example for as you said, for myself and my sister. And I think again, when I later on, then you start to realize, but they didn't always have the same opportunities I had. and I think that's when it really sunk in that I must make the most of it, because in the end, it's not only for me, but for them as well, and to a certain extent to the rest of the family as well. Where
you'll be surprised how many people have sat exactly in this position with me and have said that you feel so like you need to excel because you have it so much easier.
And you've got the opportunities they didn't have. I mean, they couldn't go to the school I went to or the university I went to, and to a certain extent they didn't. They always tell me they could just become a teacher or a nurse, or I don't know what the third one is. So there wasn't many options, whereas we now can literally choose anything. And they just, I mean, from a humble beginning for them, where they also came from, to put us through the schools we went to through and the universities. So I mean, I can't thank them enough for that. And
you can say thank you, mommy.
I can say thank you now, but I mean, just that's why I try and excel what I do. That's sort of like a thank you. I mean, not throwing it in their face type of thing. And trying to make a success of what I did.
So in terms of your academics, you are a very good studier. You can get through volumes of work. Where did that kind of I would say ability to actually just sit and do work? Because sometimes, and I've told you this before, like there's two types of workers we have. Like there's those that can cram the night before and then get through the test and just be like, oh, I know 60%
enough to get by.
Enough to get by. Whereas you, someone that can know the whole chapter.
I wouldn't say the whole chapter.
And then you can go into and know basically the breadth of the work, which for me is more conducive to working in the working world, because the crammer, like unfortunately I was the crammer can only fit in so much in the day before the brain starts going wonky. Whereas the person that's able to sit for longer periods and wrestle with a topic is able to transfer that skill into the workplace.
Yeah.
So how did you end up getting that skill? Was that just something natural to you?
Honestly, it's difficult to say. I don't know if I like my mother will always say, from a young age, I would be able to go sit with my books and study if I needed to. So I don't know what it is that triggered it or what it was. And I guess from a young age, I was always busy. You know, it was always sport the whole afternoon and just the evening. And I think it may sound funny, but I think the busier you are sometimes, the more efficient you might become as well. Because
you only have limited time.
Exactly. If you give me 12 hours to do, let's say, a task. I'm gonna postpone. Whereas if you give me an hour, I know, well, this is the only time I have. And I think that, which is also helped now in the workplace, is you know that it's not just one deadline. There's gonna be another one. There's gonna be another one, and you kind of just manage it all. So I think it was just that, being busy. If they always say, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. They'll get it done for you.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna do some quick fire questions.
Okay.
So the first one is Koesister or Dunkin' Donuts?
Definitely Koesister.
Is there a Y, or does it need to be a Y?
I don't think there needs to be a Y. I'm in Cape Town.
Okay, the second one is Gatsby or Wembley?
Gatsby.
Any preferred one?
Not really. I guess the masala steak, chicken, anything.
Standard.
The standard ones. I'm good to go.
Springboks or All Blacks?
Springboks. Obviously, JP. Oh, I think
I've only had people that say Springboks to this question, so I don't know if I'm just...
You just have Springbok friends, I don't know. But I mean, we've often spoken about rugby. So definitely Springboks.
Cool. And the last one is sloffies or slippers?
Sloffies. It's too hot. It's too hot for slippers at the moment. But definitely sloffies.
So just to round it off, Ryelan, I think if there was anything that you could tell your younger self, sitting now, after this period of time, what would that be?
I think for me, confidence was always something I struggled with. It was almost like I needed validation from someone, or that sort of like, well done, you did it type of thing, before I thought, okay, well, I can do it. It didn't always come from myself that I believed that I could. And I think over time it's got better. I mean, you can think of the first day we worked together. I was all over the place and shy, and I think 10 minutes before asking a question, that sort of thing. But I think over time, especially in the workplace as well, you've just got to have that confidence in yourself and your abilities. And people aren't always going to give you the recognition, or you're not going to receive the validation from people. So I think as the younger Ryelan, if he could have been a bit more confident. It might have been easier.
Great.
But I think at the end it worked out, and we learn. We live and we learn.
We always speak about that 90% of the job is just showing up.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times we feel like we always need to either present in the most perfect manner instead of just being there and doing the task, so that you can then, achieve. Because a lot of the times, and I struggle to toot my own horn so badly, and it's something that I need to work on as well, because I am actually good at certain things.
Exactly.
I just don't show it. So yes, definitely, I would also try to tell younger JP to have a bit more confidence.
Exactly, because sometimes, like, if you're sitting in a room and two people walk in, and the confident one will come in and he'll just greet everyone and just be, I'm Ryelan, this is what I do, and already you feel like, okay, this guy is he means business. Whereas if someone comes in and doesn't look you in the eye, and then already people are like, yo, who's this person? What's he doing here?
Yeah, so but it's definitely, like you said, it's something that you can get over time, and something that you do get better at, but also something I wish I knew earlier. But thank you for coming, Ryelan. Thank you for gracing us with the presence. If you like the podcast, like, share, subscribe, and we out. Peace.
Cheers.